Cyberpunk 2077 is a large game, with many different ways to play through and beat the game. But this raises the question, can you beat Cyberpunk 2077 with only grenades? I scrapped my clothes because running around naked is the only way I could have afforded my grenades at the start. Then, the elevator didn't want to work, but it's probably Jackie's fault. God damn it, Jackie. I will kill you for this. Trust me. You will die. I got off the elevator and then got distracted by random loot on the ground and a sparking electrical panel. A woman opened her door and I told her to get back inside her room before stealing food from her doorstep. It's my food now. I tried to remove this man's ankles, but my grenades aren't powerful enough yet. Maybe one day I can cut someone in half with only one grenade. Then, his friend came in and shot me while I tried to loot the shelves. God damn it, why do you people have friends? Then, I nearly blew myself up as Jackie blocked me from leaving. I swear, Jackie is going to get me killed one of these days. For fuck's sake, Jackie. I hid in a hallway to lose my combat status, and it didn't work. I closed the door to see if that would help, but the gang member opened the door to counter my plans. So, I locked Jackie in the room with him, and to my surprise, they stopped fighting. And I don't want to know what they did instead, but if I had to guess, it would probably fall under Rule 34. I waited for a bit to see if I could hear any sounds of fighting, and I couldn't. This is starting to give me flashbacks to when I was a kid, but with less death. So, I opened the door, and just like at work, everyone started to act busy when their boss walks in suddenly. Jackie was useful for once, and eventually killed the gang member, even though he took his sweet fucking time to do it. He really took his time to do it, but finally, my combat status was gone, and I could craft some more grenades to kill everyone in the next room. Then, we made it to the next room, and I attempted to kill Jackie a bit early with some casual friendly fire. It didn't work. I found the person I was looking for, chilling in the tub. Some people decided to follow me, and this is the first problem we run into with Cyberpunk. This is a grenades-only playthrough, and the game forces you to use a gun here. I won't count it against the run, because you are forced to use it and cannot advance the story if you don't shoot them. If you disagree with my choice, then the challenge ends here, and you cannot beat Cyberpunk 2077 with only grenades. But this is a fun game, and I don't want the video to end after only 2 minutes. So I say that parts of the game like this don't count against the challenge. Let me know what you think about it, and if I should count parts of the game that force you to use a certain weapon as failing the challenge. I don't think it does. Jackie and I watched some people fuck around and find out when it came to police with high-tech weaponry. Those idiots each won Darwin Awards for their stupid efforts. Then, I finally got to my apartment and scrapped everything that I owned just so that I could make a couple more grenades. I woke up, still without clothes. I almost checked my computer before I decided not to, and grabbed my cash for that day before going outside. Wait, I actually went outside willingly? What the fuck am I doing? Well, I guess real life outside can be replaced by going outside in video games. I met the gun shop owner, stole some ammo someone left on the bench, and then he handed me my gun that he fixed, and I scrapped it for parts to make a few more grenades. I'm sure he was happy about all his hard work being wasted like that. I also scrapped the clothes I found in the trash, because whoever threw them away didn't want them, and I sure as hell don't want them. Doesn't everyone want to make grenades out of sunglasses and pants they found in the garbage? I mean, I sure as hell do. I talked with Jackie just so that I could get my car keys from him. If he knew me better, he wouldn't have given me the keys at all, because he would know by now that it would be a few hours before I finally got to Victor's shop. I had other plans, of course, and Victor was not one of them. He told me that he had gotten my car fixed. As soon as I heard that, I knew I was going to crash it, accidentally or not. After getting my keys, I tried to drive away without him, but my car wouldn't start. Jackie got into my car, and we set off to work on my plans first, and meet Victor some other time. But definitely not now. So I turned left instead of right. Only Jackie knew how long it would take me to finally meet Victor and get new gear from him. It really is going to take a while. I saw some enemies on my map and did a quick airbag test of my car, although Jackie says that I crashed it. I accidentally killed a civilian who didn't want to run away from the crazy people throwing grenades at each other, and suddenly I was wanted by the police. The police showed up and I tried to hide behind a concrete wall. It didn't work, so I killed them with a grenade. After killing them, the police wanted me even more than the hot single moms in my area. I knew I needed to hide from them, so I ran into the corner and hid behind the stand in a sudden game of hide and seek. They'll never look for me here. I was wrong. They knew I was here, and they tried to shoot me. Don't remember that part of the game from when I was a kid. Damn, the games kids play almost 60 years from now are pretty intense. An officer walked around the corner and found me, but the game had already ended. I quickly left the scene, and I found some gang members who looked like they were a bit cold. So I helped them just like Chernobyl helped Russia. I generated enough heat and energy for them to be warm in just a fraction of the time that they wanted. I decided that my car counted as walking because I still had to use my legs to make it work, and went up the stairs. I climbed up onto a giant AC vent to get a better view of the nearby loot, and I saw some, but died after falling 6 inches. God damn, my ankles are weak. I finished looting and decided to test the shocks in my car by driving down the stairs. I can safely say that the shocks work. I found a group of 6 people tightly packed together here. I'm not sure I want to know what they were doing before I interrupted them, but they went out with a bang. I got in my car and discovered that the rear bumper of my car could stretch people to new extremes. That man probably set a few world records in just a fraction of a second before he died. I finally met with Victor and knew immediately that I would never pay him back for this. Victor put some stuff in my hands so I could defy the laws of physics. And with that, I materialized a gun through sheer force of will. I stole a car and then passed by Dex slowly to make sure I was clear before leaving. Just like how I pass by my responsibilities and then come back much later when I really need to do something about them. I discovered some angry bridge trolls and had no idea that their ghosts would give me a gift later. I thought you only found trolls on Twitter and in YouTube comment sections. This man survived a few explosions and then got hit in the head by a grenade, which immediately removed his legs. Not like he needed them. Finally talked with Jackie about the job from Dex and started planning on how to fuck it up in a way that nobody could have ever seen coming. The bartender suddenly became collateral and the police wanted me yet again. The police showed up and I had to kill them, which made them want me even more than I have ever been wanted by someone in real life. I should have expected that, because games like this are meant to be unrealistic. Then, despite how much they wanted me, just like all of my ex-girlfriends, they suddenly no longer wanted me, and left. I should be used to this by now. I met Dex, and didn't give a shit about what he had to say, because he looks like the kind of person who won't pay me for anything. I picked up the flathead that Maelstrom borrowed and didn't return to the library when it was overdue. Their boss tried to stop me, but he didn't seem to like how quickly I supplied him with grenades. I would have given them to him faster if I was able to throw multiple at once, but I can't. The ghosts of the bridge trolls finally paid me back a few days after I freed them from this world. Shame they tried to give me a gun. I would have preferred more grenades. Oh well, this will have to do for now, because I can still scrap it for parts and have a more explosive personality than I think anyone would have expected. I had to go through this brain dance for the 7th time, and for once I almost wished that I was the one getting shot so that I wouldn't have to do it again. We met with Dex and negotiated on how much we would be paid, 30 or 35%. I don't think he liked 35. Got to the hotel and was so scared of the car AI thinking I still had a gun that I left my imaginary gun in the car just so it wouldn't try to kill me later, or now. I blew everyone up before leaving the hotel. Jackie decided to wait in the car while I talked with Dex. Dex said something about a blaze of glory, I'm sure it's relevant somehow, and then shot me in the head. And, well, I died. I came back to life, and Dex went out in a blaze of failure. See, I knew it was relevant. I met with Takamura to congratulate him for finally taking out the trash for once in his life. I talked with Judy about where to find the bitch that gave me this job and got me killed, and she said no. Of course she would say that, why wouldn't she? Got to meet Rogue, and finally started the mission to meet Panam. I've been looking forward to this because I never bothered to pick up my car earlier and my feet are starting to get sore. I did what anyone without a car would. I ran all 2.7 kilometers just to meet with Pan Am and get her stuff back. I would have shown you the entire trip as a time lapse, but speeding it up that much caused it to look like a PowerPoint presentation. Pan Am and I got ready to ambush these guys. She gave the word and I started it off with a bang. For some reason, none of my handheld illegal fireworks exploded in the air or away from people. By the time I noticed this, several people had already died, and I was probably going to jail for it. I woke up in a hotel room after Pan Am left before me. That was fine though. I had to go find my new car because I was getting tired of walking everywhere. I ran through some tunnels, and after a few more days of running, I finally found my new car. I knew I was going to use this car a lot more after this. Good thing nobody knows that I don't know how to drive. At this point, I finally got to test something I had been thinking of the entire time. Does shock immunity protect you from an EMP? No. No, it does not. I think it should though, but that's probably asking too much. Pan Am's family was killed by the AV we just dropped out of the sky, so I tried to quietly kill the guards with grenades. And then I remembered something very important. Grenades aren't quiet. I started throwing grenades at a gas station, which of course seemed safe at the time. I failed to throw a grenade through the window, but I managed to get a few under the door frame. What wasn't safe, however, was the shopping cart that passed through my body at very, very high speeds, and I died. Takamura's friend didn't like what I said and told us he would not help us in any way. If anyone deserves a lot of grenades right now, it would be him. I obtained information about the parade. Only an insane person would give me intel on where everything would be. I don't understand. But it's too late to take back the information now and stop me from committing even more war crimes against people. I got into an elevator with Takamura and realized that both Takamura and his coat, to some degree, are vampires. I'm a bit scared to be in an abandoned construction site in an elevator with him, and I hope he doesn't kill me now. In order to steal a van full of free candy, I used my expensive luxury car I found in a cave to act as a roadblock and slow down the van before I stole it. I met Takamura on a rainy day and could feel my frame rate dropping low enough to count on just one hand. As long as you're from Chernobyl. I'm not, so I'll have to use 2 hands and 1 foot for this. I still can't believe my graphics card actually struggled with this part of the game. I found some landmines in the sky bridge, and I died to them. They didn't get me the second time I came through here for the loot, though. I met Takamura's friend for the second and hopefully last time. It was at this point I realized that the gun store sold me the wrong blueprint for grenades. These new ones were homing. We met with Hanako after we kidnapped her. She probably thought I was insane, and I don't have any reason to doubt her. I saw this sign while talking with Johnny, and immediately knew what my goal was. I was going to become immortal, because dying once already just really wasn't fun enough for me. I needed to do it again. Got in bed with a random woman, and she told me I needed to back down from more stuff instead of saying yes to everything. You're not my mom, you can't stop me from becoming immortal. I talked with my friendly neighborhood dealer, and bought an illegal video, for research purposes, of course. I had to meet the Voodoo Boys, and so I decided that if I can walk there, I can drive there, and so I did exactly that. It's not because I'm lazy, which I am. It's because it is a more efficient way of traveling in a city, even if it does require getting people to move out of your way so that you don't run them over and make cyberpunk pancakes on the sidewalk, which I may have done. I met Placide. He really didn't say much as my cybernetic eyes suddenly blue-screened and had to restart. I surprised a netrunner in the mall by instantly breaking both of her legs. That somehow didn't stop her from running straight at me, though. I threw some more grenades at her, and she told me to get over here. I didn't have a choice. She got on top of me and started punching. I don't recall signing up for that last part, though, so I got up and I ran away from my problems again. I talked with my FBI agent, and he helped me with my plot against the Voodoo Boys. Obviously, Placide was not happy when he found out what I did without him. I did not help Rogue in the fight, because this is not Borderlands. No matter how many times I reload my gun, it will never magically become a grenade I can use. Have you ever wondered what happens if you turn on your Spinbot hacks and forget to enable aimbot as well? Don't worry, I have an answer for that. You don't get any kills. We played music in front of Arasaka in order to cause chaos and get inside during all of this. It worked, because somehow nobody saw this coming. I threw a flare at the guards, and then they started beating people for having just a little bit too much fun. Alt died, and we got to talk to her ghost. She said she might have a solution for me. She is, well, already more helpful than Johnny has been. The FBI agent I talked with killed the voodoo boys for me. Well, good thing I didn't kill him back then. He did my job. Plus he tried to kill me once he found out everyone else was dead, so I handed over all the grenades I'd managed to store inside my pockets. Thankfully, I didn't have to open up my backpack for more, otherwise this fight might have taken a while. After I gave him a few of my grenades, I sent him up to the giant voodoo doll in the sky. I'm sure that's what he would have wanted. Johnny gave me his tags that I see him wearing all the time. I told him I would help him with his plans. Even though he's living in my head, he was still unable to tell when I was lying to him because I never had any intention of actually helping him. I ran all the way from the hotel to Embers to meet Hanako because the game really didn't want to let me call my car to get there any faster. I met with Hanako and listened to her offer. I already knew I would accept, but only because Johnny had yet to offer anything better. I entered the elevator because I needed fresh air, and then almost died because I'm stupid for not knowing that fresh air does not come from elevators. I woke up in Victor's clinic, he gave me pills and a gun to end it myself. I'm not a little bitch though, so I don't need the gun. I met with Hanako after killing all of her guards, then we went to the meeting in Arasaka Tower in order to save my life. We quickly went over the plan, then she told me to ready my weapon, so I crafted more grenades. Just in case, you know. You never have too many. Hanako took me downstairs and we met with the ghost of her father. The board members didn't take us seriously, and then got scared when we showed them the ghost of her father. It's hard remembering all these ghosts of old people. On my way out of the boardroom, I found the mythical elevator tree only mentioned in legends, and then had to leave it behind so I could solve my own problems. Atom Smasher showed up and appeared to enjoy my seemingly endless supply of grenades far less than I enjoyed it. He ran away like a little bitch, so I made sure to kill him, just like Johnny and I wanted. Hellman came to get me, and he led me away in order to take me somewhere and have Johnny finally removed from my head. I really hope I don't get shot again. After surgery, the doctors made me solve a Rubik's Cube, and I had nightmares because of it. Fuck Rubik's Cubes. This did kinda scare me at the time, even though I had a feeling I knew it was about to happen. God damn it. Hellman showed up again, but this time to tell me I had cancer. Great, just what I wanted to deal with right now. But he gave me a choice. I can choose to live forever by uploading my mind to the cloud, or I can go back to Earth and die in 6 months. He told me to think it through carefully. I gave it a few seconds of thought before I made my choice. I decided to sign over all of my rights to Google and see what they do. And with that, I uploaded myself to the cloud and beat Cyberpunk 2077 with only grenades. I never paid back Victor for the implants, but he should have known better than to let me pay him back later. Thank you for watching, and if you have any ideas for another challenge run I can do in Cyberpunk or in another game, let me know down in the comments. If I like your idea, I'll give it a shot and see if I can make it happen. This video took me a while to make, and I ended up glossing over a lot of the storyline. Anyways, that will be all for now, and I look forward to making more videos similar to this. I hope you enjoy.